Robert Sullivan in Austin. So it's really fun. That is the only time I saw this. We had a little podcast. Golf club. You can go anywhere.
On Zoom, mute your microphone. And she gets off of her dad.
Oh,
Turn the speaker off here.
Yeah, that doesn't matter.
oh, stop. I did already.
Turn my mic off the computer, right?
Yes.
You turn your mic off.
Yeah.
I probably have it now. We record a lot, but I don't have everybody else do it because I have to get access to the Gmail account, which I don't want to do. So I record them, and then I go.
Speaking of power poles, how is our favorite power pole at the airport?
Yeah, actually, I got an email today, something about I was gonna get that.
I'm sorry, for what?
I got an email today, something that powers the social water hours. Oh, very well.
That's really an idea.
It's amazing. I have to tell this out because this one's not working today. So see the water on. It's a brand new battery and something's not right.
I can see some guy not putting a tree right here.
Double the space.
Richard.
Yeah. Some point on comprehensive.
Yes, I sent out an email supposedly last time we never confirmed anything. I got almost.
Thank you.
All right.
She said, well, well, I guess that one was.
On the meeting to order at 6 o'clock, please rise as you're able to, join me in the pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Approval of treasurer's warrants, payroll warrants for July 22nd, 2022 and July 29th, 2022. Open for motion.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Motion passes 5-0. Accounts payable warrants for July 26th, 2022 and August 2nd, 2022. Open for motion.
So moved.
Moved and seconded. Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Motion passes 5-0. Number 3, approval of minutes for July 19th, 2022 and July 26th, 2022. Open for motion.
Make a motion.
Any questions, discussion, edits?
Page 2.
Of which one?
July 26th. The wording at the very top where it says delivery restrictions on loitering or smoking outside marijuana stores. Kind of sounds like I was saying that I want to allow smoking outside of marijuana store. Ask you to rephrase that, because what I was asking is that the stores themselves not be required to enforce that, but they rely on, say, police presence, that the rest of all the other business would rely on. Right, yeah. Our own police, the county, sheriff department, want to provide security for our businesses and do the same for this store.
So rather than deleting restrictions, can change the enforcement of it.
Rely on police presence or whatever. And then on, July 19th, page 2 at the top of the page, you got Bob Malone, Bill Malone.
Ah,
Yes, we do.
that's my undercover.
Not anymore.
Right, it's my garden.
And then James's last name here, yeah.
Couple times in there. Trying to report yourself.
All right, any other edits? Okay, so voting on it as amended. Any final comments? Second page of, the 19th. Top of the page. All right. All those in favor? Motion passes 5-0. We do not have any special presentations or awards or committee appointments. Next public hearing for liquor license renewal. Confirm motion to open the public hearing. Second. All those in favor? 5-0. Public hearing is open at 6:04 p.m. Do we have anyone who would like to speak on behalf of the liquor license renewal for Cecilio Ventura doing business as Taste of Orion located at 306 Bath Road?
Yeah,
Can I actually ask you to come forward a little bit? The microphone's in this speaker right there. And if you can just state your name.
Now,
Sure.
my name is Cecilio Ventura. I'm the owner of the Taste of the Orient since 1991. And I got a little bit problem right now about when I produce some of my application about my legal license. You know, they're supposed to be like, tell me about if I'm gonna go to the meeting or not, because they're holding my application for a long time. Okay. That's why I argued to the clerk and also the town manager about, you know, because it happened to me last year. That like I got delay and then my license is already expired and then I get some extension to the state. How come they don't put immediately if I gonna go to the meeting? Because I've been here in the business in Wisconsin since 1991. So they can tell me if I'm gonna go to a meeting or is somebody gonna sign or not, something like that.
Well, I'm not sure why Linda didn't notify you. We can't, when you bring your liquor license application in, it cannot immediately go into the next meeting. Unless it's gonna go in without a public hearing. If it's gonna go in the public hearing, that takes us at least 2 weeks because we have to put the notice. in the
Yeah, I
paper.
submit,
It has to run in the paper. I've already explained this to you repeatedly, last year and this year. So you gotta get the stuff into us quicker than 2 weeks before your license expires.
I bring that application is like on June.
It has to go back through the department heads to be signed off on, or at least the police chief and the code enforcement officer. And again, that takes time. And if they approve it and say they have no problem with it, then we can put it on the next agenda. We don't even have to do a public hearing.
Yeah, because last year, when the, know what I can do for my business. So I told them they're gonna be closed early. And, if I can stay until like 10 or 11 o'clock, and then that's it.
But your license doesn't expire now until the end of this month, correct?
Yes,
So
Yeah, but-
we'll get this done tonight.
the state is, they want to be like a month, before they give me a month to,
Today's only the second, so.
okay. That's all of my questions.
There are others who would like to speak on this hearing?
So I guess my concern, I contested his liquor license last year and I'm contesting it again this year. Basically because of the number of complaints that we're getting to your establishment. Wiscasset has 9 establishments that serve alcohol. Out of those 9 establishments, we've only been called to yours multiple times. Since 2018, there's been 306 calls to your address, 306 Bath Road. And of course, that includes the hotel, the Taste the Orient, the bar, all of it. The system doesn't separate what the calls are for. So that's EMS calls, fire calls. In 2018, we had 24 law enforcement calls to 306 Bath Road. In 2019, we had 29 calls. In 2020, 36 calls. In 2021, 59 calls. And in 2022, so far this year, and you was closed down for, the health department closed you down for, I don't know how many weeks, 6 weeks? And we've already got 48 calls. So my concern is that you can see that the calls are going up there. We've had,
Can I ask you a question?
If we can let Larry finish and then you're welcome to speak again.
so with all the activity going on at 306 Bath Road, it's now flagged in the system as a 2-officer response. EMS and fire does not go there without law enforcement. The drug activity over there is crazy, and you know about the drug activity because you feel like calling, you call.
One thing I tried, I talked to you about it, and then I want.
You talk to me when you want to call.
Yeah, can I?
Step up, please.
So,
Yeah.
so the way it works, and this is what I found working with you for the last 5 years. If you want to report something, you do. If you don't, you don't. You use me, you use the department to your benefit.
Yeah.
You do. Because if you want to brush something under the rug, you're nowhere to be found. But then if you want to do something, you're very adamant to do something. My concern is, as recently as 2 weeks ago, I had an officer get assaulted over there from a drunk guy. I've had officers get kicked, punched,
Okay,
spit
I'm
on.
gonna ask Chief will finish, then you will have the opportunity.
I've had officers get kicked, punched, spit on over there. We've had numerous people refusing to submit to arrest. And I, bottom line to it, I think it's because you overserve people or your staff overserves people. And that was my complaint last year. That's my complaint this year. And I just want to go on record that I'm contesting your liquor license, and I'll contest it. If the numbers continue to grow, I'll contest it again next year.
I think, can I answer this?
Is there anything else you'd like to say?
Yeah, I think I'm done.
Okay, this is what happened. The guy stayed in my room in the back on the hotel. And then he moved to the other side on housing development. He got that in the back on the hotel, not in the restaurant. When he come in, he's already drunk. We don't serve anything to him. Because when he go over there and he talk to some of his people in the back on the hotel. I'm not over there. Because we close 9 o'clock in the evening, okay? And nobody's over there. Only my sister is staying over there on the one. So everything at top and they called the cops. I called the cops too because of the guy, the one who's doing drugs. Before they answer me, it's about a couple of days when I talked to him. Before they give me an answer, because I called him because I want him to get, on that time, they're doing, the people discount. I have no right to come in that room. You know what I mean? They're gonna give me, he said, to give like 24 hours notice, okay? I'd like to try to get some other police so that they can get into the room. So the other cops, I talked to him a lot because I want to get him. It's not like, I try to do a lot of things about my place. I don't want to be like doing some drugs and anything over there. That's my concern. And because they got a lot of calls because of trying to get those people. Not in my place because in my on the restaurant because we close around 9:30 in the evening, and that's why I called the cops and I told somebody if you see some people coming in the room, call the cops because I tried to control the drugs. Okay, they're gone away. Okay, she's not in my restaurant and the bar.
Yes.
Chief, how many calls over the last 5 years?
306.
And you're suggesting that 306 calls is all about this one man?
Yes.
One guy?
Well,
Would you agree with that, Chief?
No, the guy moved here 11 months ago.
that one is mostly,
When you said it was that one guy, that guy just moved here from Texas. The guy we just arrested.
the guy, the one who moved from Texas, he lived across the street.
He does now.
And then it happened like a couple of weeks ago, right? And then when they have a fight with the cops, he's already drunk. He don't go to my place. He don't go to the restaurant. Okay. He
Yeah,
visits
but
his
still,
friends
that's just one incident. That's just one incident
Yeah.
that you're talking about.
when they fight with the cops.
We've had more than one fight down there.
Other questions?
Uh,
Board? Trustee?
That's why we close about 9 o'clock or 9:30,
Excuse me, sir. I don't have any questions. I would like to move that we deny this application for license renewal for the base of the order.
A motion to second.
We need to finish the hearing now. Yeah, we need to close the hearing before.
Close the hearing. Anybody else? Anybody else has a comment? Close the hearing.
Right, let's call for any other comments. Okay, open for motion to close the hearing.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor? January. Sorry. Hearing is closed at 6:15 PM. Now, we're open for a motion on the liquor license.
I move to deny the liquor license renewal application for the base of the order.
Second.
Any further discussion or questions?
I would just like to say I'm glad that Chief brought this data. I've heard this story many times about this establishment, about drugs being there, over serving, multiple OUIs, child protective services being called out there. I feel that many people in the town have the impression that this establishment is a nuisance and is operating out of control with no effort to mitigate the problems on the part of the owner. So that's why I want to deny this application. And take some of this fuel away, and if we can, revoke the other, there's 200, there's a bar downstairs and a hotel. If there's any other liquor licenses, I think we should look at revoking those. This is one.
Any other comments before we vote? Okay. All those in favor of denying the license? Motion passes 5-0. Moving on to public comment on non-agenda items. I know Bill has one to read. Are there any other comments from the public, either in person or online on non-agenda items? Okay, Bill, if you want to go ahead.
I received an email from former retired Selectman Judy Cole. She's can't make the meeting, but she asked me to read this. Maine passed a new law, LD 290, the act to stabilize property taxes for seniors over 65 or older and has had a homestead for at least 10 years. This bill goes into effect August 8th, with applications to be made available at the town office starting in September 1st and have to be submitted by December 31st for the next year. I would like to suggest that the selectmen do a bulk mailing to the taxpayers in Wisconsin to make sure all are aware of this new bill. I would also like to include the requirements of a homestead exemption, because I think a lot of new people in town may not be aware of this exemption to their taxes. These people, especially women, don't have access to the internet and a lot of those things, and people are unaware of it.
I don't think the state hasn't figured out completely how they're running the program, right?
I haven't seen this, a definitive set of rules just as of yet. We know what's coming. I have mixed feelings about this.
1973, they passed the OSHA Act on September, on Labor Day, and by the end of the month, there was a form they had to fill in. And they didn't have the form ready, so they made another form up, they had to sign and get authorized, that you couldn't send in the form because they didn't make up the form.
Well, MMA is pretty well on top of this, so I expect we'll see something.
Any other public comment? Okay. Department head or committee chair, I don't believe we have either. Unfinished business, community resilience partnership. Hopefully everyone had a chance to look at materials from the last. Dennis, did you want to look at
Yeah, so Sheree couldn't be here tonight. And I did get an email from Mary Ellen Barnes today, saying that if the board wants to move forward with this, especially if you want to move forward with it in time for these September grant deadlines, they're not going to be able to help us. They're swamped up there right now. So their recommendation would be to pick a service provider to help move forward with this. If you want to do it at this time, if you don't, there's the spring grants that we can. I sent you the list of all providers. I think she's the only one that I saw that actually using this area. The rest of them seem to be from outside the area. So
She's the one who was here tonight.
she was the one that was here last week. And again, there's no cost to the town to that. That's reimbursed by the state. So
There's no hooks in it.
I appreciated the fact that she came. And she made a good presentation.
yeah, I did talk to her today. I invited her to come tonight. It was very much last minute, so you know she had other things that she did.
Do we need a motion to?
It depends on what you want to do. If you want to just move ahead with her, I just need to send her a commitment letter saying that yes, we would, you know, use your services. I would just need authorization for the board to move ahead with that.
Madam Chairman, that's what I'd like to do.
the motion?
Second.
Okay.
Second.
Any further questions, discussion? Yes, can you,
Second, the record.
so what's the motion to enter into an agreement with Sherry?
I would say the motion would be to authorize the town manager to enter into a commitment with Shrewsbury for services. Resilience partnership. How does that sound?
Love that.
All right.
That's why I said reckon, but that's what I mean.
Yeah. I should put in her business name.
Yes. Should get this. Right, since that's- she's on state line. Yep.
What is it?
Sunrise Ecologic LLC.
Sunrise Ecologic.
Street for RRILL.
Okay, any questions or discussion? Okay, calling for vote, all those in favor? Motion passes 5-0. On to communications plan / the text my gov presentation for tonight.
John, you're up.
Is online.
Yeah, hey everyone, can you guys hear me okay? Dennis, can you hear me all right?
Can you say that again?
You're good. Can you hear us okay? Can you hear me
There
all
we
right?
So,
Perfect.
John, co-host, you can share the screen if you want to do it, or if Spencer's going to do it. I didn't know who was going to be here, so.
Spencer will take it.
Yep. So yeah, when you can allow me to share my screen, and then I'll go from there.
Yeah, and actually, if you want to speak up just a little bit, we can hear you, but not super well.
Okay. No, I'll just make sure I talk super loud. Okay. Yeah. Let me know if you can't hear me. If I need to repeat anything, absolutely I can. No problem. So, yeah. Thank you again, Selectmen. We appreciate it. Text my gov. I'll share a little bit here, but just to kind of give you a little bit of a background on us, I'll share my screen here. So what we do is we are a company that works exclusively with government municipalities. We're based originally out of Utah, but we work with a number of towns within the state of Maine, as well as across the 50 states. And what we do is we have a smart texting tool that allows you guys to be able to communicate more easily with your residents. Namely, the two things that would really be a benefit, and we find would be you guys being able to push out general text notifications, mass notifications to your residents. And that can be in a wide variety of things. It could be anything from road closures to letting people know when meetings are, when events are, weather, anything, like any type of message you would like to send out. You could do that with our program. And then as well, our program can also be used to help residents find information. And that would be done through residents being able to text in questions to our program. And then our program will automatically reply with any sort of the answer to the question. And we have a setup team that would help you guys set up those responses. So that's a little bit about our program. For your residents, all they have to have is a cell phone that can send and receive text messages, and they can use our program. And then for the town, everything is done through our website. So there's no extra equipment, no staff member, no selectman is going to get a text on their personal phone from our program. It's all done specifically through our online software. And then we'll show you some examples here. We do marketing materials to let residents know about the program. And as well, we handle all of the training and support for the program in-house. So there's, you don't have to have like an IT person or anything like that to run this program. So we had gone through and created some responses if you all would like to try out how the program works. I've got here, you can either text the word agenda or the word trash, or you can text both of them separately. And then here on the screen is our demo number here. It's a 435 number. For you all, we would purchase a local area code number for your residents to text to. So I'll just give you a second there to be able to text in, and you'll get those responses back. Just as kind of a preface while you're texting that in, these are automatic replies. So same thing, anytime a resident texts in, our program will read their message and then reply appropriately based on what they have texted in. And then we can create as many of these responses as needed. So as you'll see here, when you're getting those texts back, most of the time we can either link it to like a, PDF, if it's like a building permit or a license or something like that. We also have linked it to the website for that agenda information and that trash information. So the whole point of this part of the program we're showing you currently is to be able to be kind of a 24/7 secretary and cut down on some of the calls that come in about general items. Awesome. So it looks like everyone's kind of had a chance to text in. I'll leave that here open for a little bit. And then at this point, I'll move over to the internal side of the program. And then I'll show you guys exactly how, you could send out notifications to your residents as well. So any questions? I want to make sure there's time for questions as we go through this. Any questions so far?
Can you send out an email alert as well, or no?
Great question. Yeah, right now it's just through texting. So no emails currently. Awesome. Any additional questions? Okay. So I'll switch my screen here. All right. So hopefully everyone will be able to see here on my screen where it says guest dashboard here in the middle. So this is what our internal side of the platform looks like. Now, once again, this would only be accessed by the staff there at the town, whoever you would assign to, be the one using this program. Once again, we would be the ones, in-house helping set up the entire program and training staff on it. So as you can see here, we have our dashboard here. You guys would have that for yourselves. If I come up here to notifications, this is where you'd be able to send out those messages. Once again, here on the left-hand side, we've got a lot of different examples here. We would create custom groups for you guys if you want to do multiple notification groups. If you want to just do one group, that's totally fine. No limit there, as many as you'd like. And then when you're ready to send out a message, you just simply choose your group here. Now I know it says city alerts, we'd have it say town. And then you'd come in here and you would simply type out your message. So you could say, main closed for or today. And then you'd simply click send, and that would go out to all of your residents who are signed up. So very simple to use for your staff.
Question.
Yep.
Sending out an alert like this, how is it set that it goes to everyone in town? Program.
Great question. So how do we get the people to sign up? How do they, sign up for it or receive the messages? I want to make sure I'm hearing your question. Okay, Bill.
Is that what you're asking, Bill? How do they
Do
get
we
the
have
numbers?
to sign up for this?
Yes.
Or do you have a master list of every phone in the town?
No, we don't have a list of anyone's information. So they'll just sign up themselves. I'll show you an example here.
I'm used to it for nothing.
Yeah, so this is another town we work with in Maine, the town of Waterboro. As you can see here, this is a flyer we've created for them. So we would create similar materials for you all to let your residents know. And you can see here down at the bottom where it says receive town alerts. And they have 4 different groups. They've got, office closure, road closure, transfer station, and then meetings are their options for their residents to sign up for. And the resident will simply text in whatever keyword is listed there. So for them, they have Waterboro road closures, and the resident would just pull out their phone, text that word in, and then they're automatically signed up at that point to receive messages from their town. So closest to you guys over there, the town of Camden is also a recent sign on with text.my.gov. I know they're a little bit, I think, to the east of you guys. And then as well, as you can see here, we also have the texting inside. And this is where you could put some options of things that you could allow residents to text in about. So, but yeah, that is it kind of in general with the program. Like I said, I wanted to leave this up to the selectmen if any other questions from what we've gone through.
The cost us.
The cost? Yep, that's always a big question. So this is a copy of the proposal we have sent over from our discussions with Dennis. So it's an annual cost. So annual price you'd be looking at would be $3,700. And then we handle all the implementation and setup and training. And so the first year there is a setup fee. So the total first year cost is listed here, $5,550. And then the ongoing price is just the annual cost. And then it's an initial 2-year agreement. After that, it goes year to year.
This might be.
Any other questions?
This might be too detailed, but for example, if somebody wants a planning board agenda versus a select board agenda.
Yep.
I mean, if you text an agenda, are you gonna get like a laundry list of all of them, or I assume you have different keywords or something?
Correct. Yeah, we can definitely customize it for the people texting in. So this is our example here on our internal side of different items that people can text in that we've created. Once again, we work with a lot of other small towns, so we have a list of some common ones. So maybe for your example, if someone texts an agenda, maybe we'll say, yeah, for the selectmen agenda, here's the link for the planning board agenda, here for the Board of Health or whatever, planning, go from there. So each of these responses will make sure that you guys have it exactly how you'd like it to look for your residents.
Is that 25,000 text number, how many texts get sent out, or like how is that number showing?
Great question. So yeah, we provide a certain amount of text messages per year. Our base amount is 25,000. So to give you an example, let's say you had 1,000 people signed up to receive messages and you sent out a message, that would be 1,000 text messages used. And then it also does count towards the incoming messages as well. The nice thing is that unused messages do roll over each year. So this is a number that we come up with, just kind of an average between other municipalities around your size. And we find that 25,000 is usually a little bit more than enough, so that each year you build more messages.
So just to clarify, so you're saying if we had 1,000 people sign up, we could only send 25 messages over the whole year?
Correct. It depends on how many people you'd anticipate to sign up. Once again, the amount of messages, that's not set in stone. Like I said, it's just an average of what we see depending on a population range. So depending on how many people you expect to sign up and how often you expect to send out messages, there's some flexibility with the amount of text messages we offer per year.
Okay, and you said that when people text us back, that also counts?
Correct. Yep. So if, like today, when someone had texted an agenda and it replied, that would count as 2 messages, 1 in, 1 out.
Okay, and are the overages a lot for, like, I guess I'm being optimistic that a lot of people would sign up, but that doesn't seem, 25 messages, particularly when back and forth counts as 2, doesn't seem like a lot to me.
For sure. Yep. Like I said, it all depends on how many people you would anticipate would sign up. And so we understand that some people will use this, we have sometimes use it only for emergencies. And so obviously there's less use. And then some other people will use it a lot for general items and they'll use more. So like I said, it's flexible in the amount of messages. So if you guys wanted a higher initial amount of messages each year, we can definitely discuss that and we can add to it, not a problem. But extra messages are available if you want to purchase them. We sell them to you at cost from what we purchase them for. So for example, another 25,000 would be $300.
Okay, and you could do that, like if we got to October and we're almost gonna hit our limit, we could purchase it then?
Correct. Yeah. For example, we recently had a small town in Washington. There are about 1,400 people. They're using it very actively, and they just went through 25,000 messages, and their year starts in October. And so they just purchased an additional amount as well. So now they have 50,000, if that makes sense.
Okay. I just want to make sure we weren't gonna get slammed with a big overage. There's a lot of.
No. And this isn't an automatic charge. It's not like you're automatically going to be billed or anything like that. We'll email you or reach out to you, and then you can decide how many messages you would like to purchase. There's no other overage fees or extra surcharges.
Thank you.
Yep.
I already have a list of each of them, we send emails to on that, right?
Yes, here's the thing that I like about this over that. If they want to get on the email list, they have to email Kathy in order to get on the email list. And I know you sent a list today with a whole bunch of people, and I don't know if you saw her reply back, but she's not. They have to count individually. Likewise, if they want to get off the email, they have to send us an email and say, don't send them. This way, the public is doing it on their own. Because if they want to stop receiving messages, they just like stop and do the thing, and it just stops, and it does stop. It tries to work.
Generally, the same people that are getting it. Text message.
Correct.
Same people that have ability to use email.
Yes. You know, and there's gonna be certain people that don't have that ability. In a town of 3,800, we've got some people that just don't use cell phones, and, you know, kids,
They're not
and so,
gonna.
you know, I don't think we're not gonna have 3,800 people signing up for this. You know, if you get, I think it's somewhere around 250 to 300 probably.
Well, and it's not going to replace the website either, so I mean,
Right.
it's just an added piece, not a subtraction.
Right, this is just an adjunct to help increase the communication with residents. It's not gonna replace anything.
And this is the most reasonably priced group like this, communication system that you know of.
I've seen others that are pretty more expensive. And there are some, you know, there are some companies out there that do government websites as a whole that incorporate this into the government website, into the website as well. And they can get pretty pricey, you know.
Yeah.
Upwards of thousands of dollars.
This didn't seem like a big price tag, that's why I was asking. It seems like a reasonable
I
cost.
certainly can research other companies. You guys don't have to make this decision tonight. Back to that.
I see that the system is accessed with just a word in the text line. Can they ask other questions? Is there a way for a citizen to, you know, actually ask a real question? Does the system understand that? Does it read that and then discern the key words? Do you know what I'm asking?
Yes, that's a great question. And our program will read the message from the resident from left to right, and then it will pick up on the whatever keywords are in there. Now, if they text in something, you know, that there's not a response for, it will still send back a message just saying that there's no response found or something like that, didn't find a match. And then you could put in, like, you know, the phone number or an email, you know, for a member of the town staff. Great question.
Okay, I see.
So like if somebody asked, when is the transfer station open,
Yeah,
rather than trash, it should kick that back correctly.
Correct. And for each of these responses here, I've got my screen open again. You can include multiple ones, right? So we have, as you can see here, like bill pay. We have pay my bill as examples too. That would link to the same thing.
Justin?
Yeah, I'm concerned about the pricing as well, because this is a good system. I like the way this is set up. And I would. And now what we have is unlimited texting, and we don't have to worry about that. So how hard would it be to get us to an unlimited texting deal?
Yeah, so if I want to make sure, I think I lost connection there. Yeah, right now we don't have any unlimited texting. It's, you know, obviously, like I said, we could do more text messages if needed. But like each year, unused messages do automatically roll over to the next year for you too. So you always, most of our customers, the plan is that they, you know, have extra messages each year in like a kind of a bank of messages. So.
Dusty, I did see a couple other, there are other sites that kind of do this, and they're pretty much all the same. You know, you get X number of text messages, that's what you get, and they go over. more you use, the more you.
Kind of seems like we started using it, we use it, and then get to the, stop using it, and they go, oh, that was fine. Stop using it.
Well, I would want to stop using it, because that would just defeat the whole purpose of having it. And if you're gonna, if this is something you don't want to commit to, you're gonna have to commit to it.
I have a question. Who's answering the questions?
It's a computer,
It's automated.
it's automated.
Yeah, you put in all the major responses, like transfer station hours, like where it's gonna pull the agenda
I'm
from.
gonna load all that stuff in.
And this
Yep.
also, and I don't know if you touched on this, Spencer, or not, I don't know. There's a reporting feature that you can put in here, so so say we wanted people to report streetlights around. So you could set this up so that they could go in and says, streetlight, and you can come back and say, what's the address? And then it will send a text message or email to Ted to say, there's a streetlight over there. Or whatever.
Which is
Or a
really
pothole,
cool.
or.
Yeah.
Or however, I mean, it's pretty customizable how it. But I do share your concern about the cost.
Correct. Yep, Dennis,
I
you're
mean-
exactly right, for sure.
Another 100,000 text messages is $750 a year, that gives you 125,000.
Right, what after the base price, we have on that much.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know if I missed a question.
No, wasn't a question, just comment.
Okay.
How
Okay.
long a contract do we sign for? 1 year, 2 year?
2 years.
It's 2 years for the first, and then it goes yearly after that.
And then keep in mind too, for your guys' peace of mind, our program is fully FOIA compliant, open records compliant, since all we work with is local government. So this log here will keep track of all messages that are sent in or, sent out of the program. And then you all own this information and can download it at any time. And we'll keep it for you as long as you like, in case of any sort of records request that comes to the town. So.
Other question?
Yeah, who's responsible for initially setting it up and then who maintains it?
Yep. So we ask for 2 staff members to be involved in implementation from the town standpoint. And then we have an in-house setup team, and we would assign a project manager to the town, and we do the trainings over Zoom. And like I said, we'll help you guys set up the entire program. And then we'll also train staff on how to, make any changes. And we also offer unlimited training and support down the line. So if you guys ever run into any trouble or need extra help, we're also available for that. And then our average setup time right now is between 30 to 60 days is our goal for each municipality to go live by if they joined on. So.
Other questions?
Dennis, has our staff taken a look at this and weighed in on whether they like this or not, and they want to do it?
Kathy and I have worked on this, I have not talked to the office staff on this, but they wouldn't necessarily have to be involved in it.
That's what I was asking, basically.
I would want I probably would want more than 2 people knowing how to do this, 'cause right now Kathy and I are both out.
Yeah,
And I'm not so good on the website. I got your agenda out this week without any trouble, so I'm pretty proud of myself right now, so. So you could probably involve more people.
Other questions for Spencer? Anything else, Spencer?
No, that's it. Thank you again for your time. We appreciate you looking at it today, and the questions were fantastic. So we'll keep following up with you, Dennis. And if anyone has any additional questions or wants to see anything else, please let us know. We're happy to do additional meetings.
Great, thank you.
Yep.
is this gonna be on the agenda to vote over down?
Yeah, so what's the pleasure of the board? Do you want to vote tonight, or do you want to just wait for 2 weeks, think about it? Yeah?
Well, the 3 of us have had months.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
guys have.
Trying to be nice to the new guys, but
I'm on board if you guys are.
I think it's time to try it.
It's a good, quick remedy for some of our communication problems, and but it's up here. in the future, we'll probably be replacing something on it already anyway.
And we can use
Yeah,
that.
and I was just gonna say, we can use the ARPA fund, so it really doesn't have to cost the taxpayers.
And we'll also relieve our staff from answering those phones.
Hopefully, yeah, or, like I said, you get signed up for the agenda, you guys know that whole process.
Well, and I like the fact that on the back end, they'll keep all of it, so we could actually look to see, okay, 20% of people are asking about transfer station hours or whatever. So we might get some insight into what the questions actually are.
It will help to say, oh yeah, but people we gotta do a better job of advertising transfer station now.
Not trying to pick on the transfer station.
No, but that's how this, so, and the town of Camden just signed up with them, I was kind of looking around to see who else had this. I called over there, talked to them, see how happy they were with it, and had it on. So,
So should we get an official contract before you vote then?
yeah, I'll bring it to you.
Does that work? Okay.
Yes.
All right, new business license application, Cozy Harbor Group, 263 Bath Road, open for motion.
To approve the business license application for both our.
Second.
Any questions? or
Geez, I'm
discussion?
so sorry.
Mr. Carlton, who's gonna give that one to?
I think Bill at the end.
Whoever wants it.
All right, all those in favor? Motion passes 5-0. Now to approval of Central Maine Power Pole permit application for Hodge Street. Say that 5 minutes fast.
Move to approve the Central Maine Power Pole permit application house. Work order number 103008509.
Second.
Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Motion passes 5-0. Town manager's report.
Just a couple things to bring you up to speed. We created as part of the Public Works budget this year, a Deputy Public Works Director to help Ted, so he could actually take some time off. And I have appointed Bill back up to that position, so you guys see Earl, say congratulations and good luck. They're a great group of guys up there, and I think he will well. We did put in a bid for the China Cruiser. We put in a bid for $30,000 and $1. A bill of sale today for it. So save the town probably 25,000 over, well, probably more than that. That computer that's there, so.
Fantastic.
So, and this puts us in, now we have 3 really good cruisers. So now we can start being proactive in our maintenance and our rotation and getting them instead of having to react to everything and say, oh, we got a cruiser that's got 200,000 miles on it, we need to get rid of it. We're ahead of the game. Now we can stay ahead of the game. Keep a rotation here, so I'm pleased with us. So hopefully we'll go up and get it the next day or so. The 3 of you were made aware of the complaint by former police officer Craig Worcester, that lawsuit that he was, filing a lawsuit against the town. So we were not aware of this. I did get a copy, get served of that complaint yesterday, right afternoon. Mr. Worcester is alleging that the town released private personnel information through a FOIA request, which has caused him some issues. We did release some information through a FOIA request, but any personnel records that we release to anybody, we do not release until we get them cleared to the town attorney first, to know that they are records that we can release and what we can't release. And that was done in this case. We have an email chain. Just briefly talking to the attorney today, they're going to file a motion just to dismiss. There's 20 defendants in this complaint. That complaint is 50 pages long. And 90% of it has to do with the problems that it's having up in Millinocket and elsewhere. So, we're a very small part of this. We'll see where it goes, but, we'll all be aware it's up there. It's public knowledge anyways, it was probably in the paper. I'll keep you informed as this moves forward as to what's going on. I think that's all I have.
Any questions, Dennis? Okay. Other board business?
Your call.
Do you want us to talk about marijuana? Or did everybody see the email with responses from ORC?
Those responses were speedy and well done.
I disagree. More information than that.
Mm,
I'll talk about this tonight.
Okay, we don't need to. We could be ready for it next time. All right, any other board business? All right, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
All those in favor?
Aye.